Jamaica has been listed as one of the safest countries in the world. Welcome back to SouFLoTV again, everybody. It is your host with the most. I suspect something sinister at play here. Let's get into this. Pay attention. There's an article that came out, Jamaica Observer, that was released December 1st of 2023. The article says that Jamaica has been listed as one of the safest countries in the world. Jamaica has been ranked among the safest countries in the world. Respected international analytics firm Gallup Inc. has stated in its 2023 Global Law and Order report. Stick a pin. Gallup Inc. All right, I'll be back. The Gallup report has Jamaica sharing company with New Zealand, Costa Rica, and Cyprus. According to a story that was published by Breaking Travel News, which is regarded as the leading online resource for travel industry executives from around the world. Stick a pin. I've done the numbers for you. New Zealand, Costa Rica, Cyprus, and Jamaica. The report gauges Jamaica's people's sense of personal security and their own experience with crime and law enforcement. Did you hear that? The report gauges people's sense of personal security and their own personal experience with crime and law enforcement. Results are based on nationally. I can't even go on because there's so much that I want to say. Results are based on nationally representative probability-based samples among adult population age 15 and older in 141 countries and territories throughout 2022, Breaking Travel News said. Honestly, if I ask 1 in every 2 Jamaicans in this age bracket, did somebody ever poll your opinion, take your opinion, and ask you about how safe Jamaica feels to you? Most of them would tell you no one ever asked my opinion, and they would actually give you something contrary. Yes, Jamaica is beautiful. Yes, there's a lot of fun to be had in Jamaica. Yes, Jamaica is relatively safer if you're thinking to the extreme. But I will crunch those numbers for you in a minute. Let's not even compare Jamaica with other places. Now, I know there are people that follow my channel just to be disrespectful or, say what they have to say because they never got a hug from their mom and their dad, they don't know who he is. So they grew up kind of rough, right? So they'll get on the channel and they'll say stuff like, stop compare Jamaica to anywhere, bad boy. Jamaica nice. Why you not talk about the USA? Because the USA is a treacherous place, murderous place. Yes, it is, but I'm not comparing. I'm speaking of the report that was given that said that Jamaica is one of the safest places on earth. And they share numbers with New Zealand, Costa Rica, and Cyprus. That's where the argument is. Continuing forward, the report also said that Jamaica scored 75 out of a maximum 100 points, which ranks the island among the safest in Latin America and the Caribbean. Coming slightly ahead of the U.S. territory of Puerto Rico at 74, followed by Brazil, 73, Argentina, 70, Mexico, 66, Venezuela, 66, the Dominican Republic, 64, Peru, 61, and Ecuador, 59. Topping the list was a place called Tajikistan at 96, Finland and Iceland both at 92, while the United States of America, United Kingdom, and Canada all scored 83. Breaking Travel News said that when it contacted Delano Severite, senior advisor and strategist in Jamaica's Ministry of Tourism, he declined to comment extensively on the report, as he should, but said the safety of every Jamaican and every visitor matters greatly. Notice that is a political answer, a politically correct answer. That man did not put himself out there to say we are the safest. And I'm going to show you in a minute why he couldn't. But what he did say was the safety of all Jamaicans and all visitors remain extremely important, right? It's a great matter of importance to us. Notably, the crime rates against visitors remains extremely low, which is truth. Very rarely are visitors to Jamaica harmed. And usually we've done the back research to those who were visitors who were harmed. And it turns out that it had something to do with somebody they were associated closely with on the island, right? So there's no random act of violence. I shouldn't say no, but there aren't many random acts of violence against visitors to the island of Jamaica. Matter of fact, very few. The average Jamaican who is a criminal who intends to do crime will actually see a tourist and choose not to. Because as much as they are criminal minded, if they're criminals, they still, believe it or not, think about the country on a bigger scale. If I scare these tourists away, it'll dry up the tourism industry. I might be a criminal outside on the streets robbing people, but my mom might work at the resort. My auntie, my sister, my brother, my cousins, they all might work in these resorts. So if we start scaring away tourists, everybody is not going to be able to eat, right? And that is taken into deep consideration. Take this from a Jamaican. So the article says Jamaica is abuzz like never before, and millions have visited over the years without incident, which is true. Shout out to Jamaica. And I just also did an article and a review on Jamaica's tourism industry and its recovery after the pandemic COVID period. And it is booming. This winter season, which starts sometime in December, I believe December 15th, and extends into next year, the new year, the winter season will see over 1 million new visitors to Jamaica in that short space of time. So obviously, even with Jamaica's murder rate skyrocketing, it is still one of those places many people desire to visit. We just have a vibe, that people are willing to take their chances to come check out the vibe. And I think the majority of the world knows that in Jamaica, it is Jamaicans against Jamaicans, and visitors are normally relatively safe. Let's get that out the way, right? With that said, let's go back and crunch these numbers now. So, the article says that Jamaica has been ranked among the safest countries in the world. Respected international analytics firm Gallup Inc. has stated in its 2023 Global Law and Order report. I realized that there were some people in Jamaica who are taking this to a whole nother level and are even calling some people stupid or dumb for not understanding how this works. So the first thing I did was I galloped over to Gallup. No pun intended, but exactly. I galloped over to Gallup and I checked out what they were about. Now, if you go over to Gallup, one of the first things you see, Gallup tells you how it works. It says, how does Gallup polling work? And you can find that on news.gallup.com. or Gallup.com, telling you how Gallup works, right? And it says it goes off of opinions and it also goes off of perceptions. Opinions and perceptions. All right, slow your roll. A tourist who comes to Jamaica on a regular visit every year, they have this thing planned out where they fly in with their family. It's always been nice for them. They get the best of everything. They fly back out the country. Their opinions and their perception of Jamaica is going to be different from the people who live in Jamaica, who have to live in these communities where war and crime and violence is rampant. Right now, one of my favorite places to visit in Jamaica, where also my wife is from and her family is from, is on the west, in Westmoreland. And if you look up what's going on in Westmoreland right now in the news in Jamaica, it says that shop owners, business owners are closing up their doors to their businesses because robberies and crimes been running rampant. look at a lot of the murders that have happened recently in Jamaica, you will see that a lot of them have happened in Westmoreland as well, right? So people who have to live this and traverse this on a day-to-day basis, their opinions and perceptions are going to be different from those who fly in, fly out, and are always in a safe space, right? With that said, let's crunch the numbers, because Gallup actually explains to you how they do their poll. So let's crunch the numbers now. Jamaica. Roughly, the population of Jamaica is 2.86 million people, roughly. They said that we're being compared to New Zealand, Costa Rica, and Cyprus. Okay. Costa Rica population, New Zealand, sorry. Jamaica's population roughly 2.86 million. New Zealand population roughly 5.123 million. Costa Rica population roughly 5.23 million. And Cyprus population 1.26 million roughly. Here are the numbers. If they're comparing murder rate, homicides, killing, because that has to be factored in if you're talking about safety. People can always replace material stuff if they are robbed. So we're not talking about breaking into cars, breaking into apartments, taking people's material possessions that they can replace. We're talking about safety. We have to be talking about the preservation of life, right? All right. So in Cyprus, their murder rate is roughly 1.29 per 100,000. In New Zealand from 2007 to 2020, New Zealand had 1,005 murders. From 2007 to 2020, New Zealand had 1,005 murders. That is from all those years combined. Jamaica steadily did over 1,000 murders for every one of those years, right? And New Zealand averages 36 to 39 murders per year. Not Jamaica. But this is who this Gallup poll is saying we are compared to. Costa Rica, 5.23 million roughly population. Last year, Costa Rica had 654 murders. That was 2022. 12.1 per 100,000 is their per capita for murder. I already told you Cyprus, 1.29 per capita. Let's go over to Jamaica now. Jamaica's per capita, 52.9 per 100,000. This is in comparison to 12.1 per capita. This is Costa Rica compared to New Zealand, who had 39 murders average per year. Jamaica, 52.9 per 100,000, which puts us way over 1,000 murders every single year. And this is who Gallup says we're being compared to for safety. To end 2023, it is already said that Jamaica will close out 2023 with close to 1,400 murders, 1,400 murders. And guess what? 2022, it was 1,498 murders. Oh, guess what? The year before that, 2021, it was 1,474 murders. So, seeing this article that was printed in the Jamaica Observer that says that Jamaica has been ranked among the safest countries in the world, respected international analytics firm Gallup Inc. has stated in its 2023 Global Law and Order Report. And then they said that Gallup reports that Jamaica sharing company with New Zealand, Costa Rica, and Cyprus is total BS. There's no way we could be talking about safety and not talk about murder rate and then compare us to New Zealand and Costa Rica and Cyprus. Absolutely BS. Absolutely BS. Now, let me end this video by saying this. This is what I think is going on, right? Beer propaganda, you know. Watch this. Election time drive near in Jamaica. If you notice, the Prime Minister of Jamaica has been doing a lot of moving around, a lot of traveling, a lot of rubbing elbows with the who's of who's and what's of what's from other places and whatnot. What I think happened here is even these polls have vested interest, right? So they sway the mind of the people. The poll, who is said to be a well-respected entity, publishes something like this, then Jamaica's news media picks it up and publishes it, and then Jamaica's population sees it, and by chain they think, wow, things are really safe under Andrew Holness and his administration. Let's vote for them again. The truth of the matter is, these outside entities have vested interest in Jamaica. These outside entities have vested interest in the individual who they have struck these deals with, who is currently in positions of power. So it is in their best interest that this person remains in a position of power in order for their deals to go through as planned. This is what this is about. Because with common sense, there is no way that Jamaica could be listed as so safe that is compared to New Zealand, that is compared to Cyprus. Cyprus has close to our population. Cyprus has 1.29 per 100,000 when you talk about murder. Jamaica has 52.9 per 100,000. It is not the same. Even Costa Rica, who had 654 murders in 2022, is relatively way safer than Jamaica because their per capita is 12.1 per 100,000, while Jamaica is still 52.9 per 100,000. Without crunching numbers, I want you to see, I know it's something that we should be happy about, saying that Jamaica is one of the safest countries in the world. But let's be honest, right? It's time to put down the BS. It's time to stop living in la la land and fantasy. And it's sad to see that the people who will go, shut up boy, a foreign you there, talk about America, how it not safe over there. Don't say nothing about Jamaica. They're the same ones who goes, yeah, Jamaica is the safest. We're on the paper front page. And then later on, they're ducking bullets and screaming and trying to find a way to get out and talking about how unsafe it is because somebody killed me auntie when she did open our shop a morning. Somebody robbed me uncle bar last night, lick out the whole and false teeth them. Somebody did this, somebody did that, you know. So let's stop believing in the fake and the false narrative and let's say it for what it really is. Jamaica is a beautiful country. It's exhilarating, it's fun, it's enjoyable, vibrant culture, lots of beautiful people. Style can't match. Charisma can't match. However, safest in the world? Nah. It says that the highest homicide rate in Latin America and the Caribbean from 2014 to 2022 was held by Jamaica. And this was published by Statista Research on November 3rd of 2023. Go look it up, Statista Research. And you can also look up who runs Statista Research and what vested interest they might have in doing what they do. I'll catch y'all on the next video. Stay woke. I'm out. Peace.